Good morning and welcome to Wake Up to Broker Up with Mark, episode number 37 for 2025. We just can't. Yeah, I'm afraid we just can't. We just can't get insurance. Yeah, we want to buy the house, but unfortunately, we've talked to multiple insurance agents and we can't get homeowners insurance. Why? Well, it's kind of a weird reason in many respects. The roof is approximately 10 years old and we just can't get anybody to write the policy. Think it won't happen to you? It may already be happening to some of the buyers you're working with. And if you're a listing agent, you need to pay attention to how old the roof is because it's starting to affect a buyer's ability to buy because they can't get homeowners insurance. If they're getting a mortgage, they got to have it. So what do? Nobody really knows. And so far, we haven't had anybody as a buyer come up and lose earnest money because they can't get homeowners insurance. Where there's a will, there may be a way. But you need to know all of that up front. And one of the things that as an industry still we're not doing is negotiating enough time for due diligence to give the buyer adequate time to find out something that doesn't have anything to do, in many respects, with the property, and that's to get homeowners insurance. And then again, there's nothing that guarantees that by the time you get to closing, the homeowners insurance will be in place. In other words, even if they say yes, will they actually insure the property? So, it's something to think about. If you have a buyer and you're representing the buyer, buying a property that has a roof that is older than 10 years old, you need to start right at the beginning and figure out whether or not that buyer can get homeowners insurance. If you're a listing agent and you have a listing that has a roof that's older than 10 years old, you need to already be having the conversations with the seller to make sure that you are addressing the fact that buyers may have trouble getting homeowners insurance. Now, this has been a long time coming, and many people want to blame insurance companies. And I'm certainly not a spokesperson for insurance companies, but I can tell you for a long time, they competed really hard to get everybody's business. And as a result, when there was a 17-year-old roof that had hail damage, the insurance company, no matter which one it was, might have paid to have the whole roof replaced, even though the roof was already old. Well, not anymore. They've had such catastrophic losses nationally that they just can't afford to do that. And so who's suffering? The American buying public, because they can't get insurance on properties that have roofs older than 10 years old. Your first order of business, if you're representing a buyer or if you're representing a seller, is to determine how old the roof is and then maybe determine whether it's homeowners insurance insurable. Yeah, there'll be more to come on this. Again, it's an ongoing issue that's just now starting to creep up, and maybe we'll end up getting a contingency from GAR that says something about the roof. But on the flip side of that, try to negotiate a longer due diligence period and get buyers on board quickly to determine whether they can get homeowners insurance. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and it's Realtor Safety Month. Be safe out there. Take care. Bye-bye.